We'd like to welcome Catriona Matthew into the interview room. Thank you so much for joining us. I know not the finish you were hoping for in the playoff, but when you look back on this day and where you were able to come from heading into the final round, just take me through the day and what that experience was like.
Yeah, shot one over this morning, a little disappointed, and then went out this afternoon and played really well. No bogeys and 4 birdies. Even coming down the last, I didn't actually realise quite where I was. Last I'd seen a scoreboard, Inbee was still 2 or 3 ahead. So, I was quite surprised when I suddenly look at the leaderboard in 18 and 2 putts might get me in a playoff. Obviously when I started out the last round, I probably didn't realistically think I could win. So, to play well and get into a playoff was obviously pretty good. And obviously when you get beaten in it, it's pretty disappointing. But overall, a pretty good week.
On the 3 playoff holes, I know the last 2, the drives were a little wayward, not where you wanted them. Kind of what did you attribute that to, or how would you take us through those holes and kind of what was your thought process in them?
Obviously the first playoff hole, played pretty well, hit a good drive, little 7-iron, slightly unlucky just to stay up the top, left myself a tough putt. Then pushed my drive on the 10th hole into the rough and just had to chip out and then hit a really good wedge onto the green and hole probably about a 5-footer to extend it. And then, just a poor drive again down 18. What caused it? I don't know. I wish I knew.
We talked about what a long day it was, playing 36 holes and then having to go into a 3-hole playoff. Was fatigue a factor, or do you feel pretty good right now? I mean, adrenaline.
I don't think fatigue was a factor doing the playoff. I think, just the adrenaline of being in the playoff kept you going. Probably fade pretty soon now, but no, certainly didn't feel tired during the playoff.
You are a mom of 2 young, beautiful girls. What's it like traveling all the time and I know, how do you keep in touch, and especially with them being back home in Scotland, do weeks like this where you're in contention kind of make it all worth it to be able to be?
Yeah, there's nothing worse than being away and then missing a cut. Makes it feel as though you shouldn't have got left. So obviously, hadn't played particularly well the last couple of weeks. So obviously a good week this week makes it a bit more worthwhile. The youngest one keeps telling me I've not to come home unless I get the trophy. So I'm getting closer. Hard taskmaster.